France moves to boost national service amid fears of a Russian World War III-level confrontation, signaling a major shift in Paris' security posture as tensions with Moscow reach their most dangerous point in decades. Macron announced a 10-month national service with pay up to £8,800, €10,000, for volunteers, promising a financially supported program that aims to attract young French citizens into a new era of national preparedness. The new plan is designed to counter what Paris calls a hybrid confrontation by Moscow, a strategy France believes includes cyber attacks, disinformation, and unconventional threats that require a far more robust response. The overhaul replaces the current 4-week national service scheme with a 10-month program, marking the biggest transformation of France's civic and defense training system in over a generation. France aims to build a reserve force of up to 50,000 volunteers every year, The Sun reported, creating a massive new backup force to reinforce the army during any future emergency or full-scale conflict. France currently has around 200,000 military personnel and a further 47,000 reservists. But Paris believes this number must grow rapidly if Europe is to be protected against modern warfare. The move comes as Europe races for a possible Russian showdown this decade, with analysts warning that the security landscape is shifting faster than Western militaries can adapt. Remember, conscription in France was scrapped in 1996 and will remain voluntary, not mandatory, meaning the government is relying on public motivation rather than legal obligation to build its new force.
Un nouveau service national.
A new national service will be instituted gradually starting next summer. This service has 3 specific objectives: to strengthen the bond between our nation and our army, to enhance our nation's resilience, and to consolidate the training of our young people. We cannot return to the time of conscription, but we need mobilization. Mobilization of the nation to defend itself, not against any particular enemy, but to be ready and to be respected. The national service will be aimed at young adult French men and women who have expressed their willingness to join during the Defense and Citizenship Day, which will become a day of mobilization by refocusing on the fundamentals. I want to emphasize here that national service will concern only volunteers, and the corps will consist of young people aged 18 to 19. In the event of a major crisis, Parliament may authorize calling upon more than just volunteers, those whose skills have been identified during this day of mobilization, and then national service will become mandatory. But aside from this exceptional case, this national service is a service for volunteers, subsequently selected to meet the needs of our armed forces. This national service can only be meaningful if it is widely implemented. The national service will start in the summer of 2026, and we will progressively increase the number of participants. 3,000 youth will be chosen for the national service in the summer of 2026, and the batches will progressively increase to reach 10,000 youth involved by 2030. My ambition for France is to reach 50,000 youth by 2035. This will be adjusted based on the evolution of threats. In this world that is uncertain where force rules over law, war is a present-day reality. Our nation could not afford fear, panic, lack of preparedness or division. And fear never prevents danger. The only way to avoid it is to prepare for it. Notably, a debt crisis is looming over France and Parliament is still unable to approve a 2026 budget, adding financial uncertainty to an already complex national security shakeup. In March, Macron said France and Europe needed to be ready if the US abandons them, a warning that Europe must prepare for a future where American protection can no longer be taken for granted. We have to be united and determined to protect ourselves, Macron had said at the time, underscoring his message that European security is now a responsibility Europe must shoulder itself. Macron boldly suggested France could expand its nuclear deterrent to protect the entire continent, a dramatic proposal that would redefine Europe's strategic doctrine if ever implemented. This comes as across Europe, nations boost their military amid a raging Ukraine war, with governments warning that Russia's aggression may not stop at Kiev if Europe does not prepare. Earlier this month, Germany announced every 18-year-old man would undergo military medical tests, reviving a practice from the conscription era as Berlin struggles to strengthen its defense readiness. Bundeswehr needs to recruit another 80,000 professional troops to hit NATO's target, a massive gap that Germany admits must be filled quickly to meet Allied expectations. Germany stopped short of reintroducing mandatory conscription but hopes to boost numbers, preferring incentives and reform over forced draft while still pushing for a much larger force. Germany's reserve can currently draw from around 34,000 active members, officials said, But military planners warn this is far below what the country will need for future crises. But it now faces a dramatic overhaul, as planners estimate it will rise to 200,000, a near six-fold expansion to build a reserve capable of supporting NATO in case of a major conflict. France now joins the growing list of European nations boosting military strength as the world teeters on World War III, reflecting the continent's deepest security fears since the Cold War. Belgium too sent letters to 17-year-olds inviting them to volunteer for about €2,000, £1,750, a month, hoping to rebuild a reserve force that has shrunk significantly over the past 2 decades. Further east, Lithuania and Latvia have compulsory schemes, with cadets selected by lottery, a system designed to ensure their populations remain ready in the shadow of Russia's border. Sweden, the newest entry into NATO, has introduced a 9 to 15-month military service with selection based on merit, emphasizing quality and competence as Stockholm rebuilds its defenses after years of cuts. Some European countries, like Finland and Greece, have never stopped military service, relying on decades-old conscription models that have now proven critical in a more dangerous world.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.